No one from Earth had ever stood inside the arena of Targath and lived. The arena itself was a brutal monument to the warrior culture of the Vrax Dominion, a towering amphitheater of black stone, filled with roaring alien crowds eager to witness combat that bordered on ritualistic madness. Humanity had arrived in the Dominion only months ago through a diplomatic mission, hoping for peace. But tensions rose quickly when the Vrax began to doubt whether humans had any combat merit at all. They called humanity fragile, slow, soft. So when Targatha's annual trial of Dominion strength approached, their High Council issued a formal challenge. Send your strongest human warrior. Prove yourselves, or forever bow. Human leaders protested, negotiated, and begged for diplomacy over blood sport. But the Vrax were unmovable. Declining meant eternal humiliation. Accepting meant near certain death. That was when Eli Carter stepped forward. A former martial arts instructor, Eli wasn't a genetically enhanced soldier, nor a superpowered hero. He was simply a human who had spent his life mastering skill, balance, and discipline. And he knew one thing the Vrax didn't. Human weapons weren't all guns and lasers. In his duffel bag, wrapped in a worn cotton cloth, were his father's handcrafted nunchucks, simple wooden sticks connected by chain. Primitive? Absolutely. Deadly? Only in the right hands. When he entered the arena floor for the first time, the air shook with the thunderous applause of tens of thousands of Vrax warriors. Their four-fingered hands slammed against the metal railing as they laughed at the sight of a human wearing flexible black training clothes and carrying what looked like firewood on a chain. "Look," one shouted. "The human brings toys." "Is he serious?" another bellowed. High above, in the stone balcony, the Vrax High Commander, a massive six-armed brute named Rovok, leaned forward and smirked. This should be entertaining. But the laughter reached its peak when the gates across the arena opened and Eli's opponent strode into view. Her name was Vexitharyun, an elite Vrax warrior known as the Armor Breaker, a title she'd earned by crushing the strongest exocets in the Dominion. She towered over Eli, 8 feet tall, muscles coiled beneath shimmering crimson armor made of Vraxian alloy. She took one look at his weapon and burst into cold, mocking laughter. "A wooden stick and chain?" Her voice boomed through the arena speakers. "Describe this weapon, human. A child's toy? A ceremonial relic? It looks fragile like you." Eli spun the nunchucks with one hand, the motion smooth, fluid, hypnotic. "It's enough," he said calmly. "Enough to amuse me," Vexa sneered. "Before I crush you." The crowd roared, and the trial began. Middle. Vexa charged first. Her movements were shockingly fast, quicker than anything Eli had ever seen. With a single leap, she crossed 20 feet of ground, her armored fist smashing downward like a meteor. The impact cratered the arena floor, sending dust spiraling upward. Eli had already moved. He rolled aside, light on his feet, spinning the nunchucks as an extension of his hands. The alien crowd gasped. Humans weren't supposed to be this agile. Vexa rose from her crouch, eyes narrowing. "You dodge well," she admitted, "but it will not save you." She swung again, horizontal this time. Eli ducked under the strike, the wind of it brushing over his hair. He responded with the first strike of the match, a clean, swift hit to Vexa's armored thigh. Crack. The sound echoed. The crowd went silent for a heartbeat. Vexa's face contorted with confusion as she looked down at her armor, where a thin fracture line had begun to spread across the supposedly impenetrable Vrax alloy. "What?" she growled. "Impossible." Eli didn't answer. He simply spun the nunchucks behind his back, fluid as flowing water, and struck again, this time across her armored wrist. Crack, shatter. A chunk of Vrax alloy fell away like broken glass. Gasps swept the arena. Rovok stood from his seat, stunned. No human weapon, primitive or advanced, can break Vraxian armor, he barked. But Eli knew the truth. It wasn't the wood that broke the armor. It was the precision, speed, and technique, momentum condensed into a pinpoint strike. Vexa roared and lunged again. This time she unleashed a flurry of blows, each one strong enough to pulp a normal man. Eli dodged, parried, and weaved between her strikes with frightening grace. To the Vrax onlookers, it was like watching water dance around a boulder. To Eli, it was simply martial arts. He felt the world slow, his breathing steady, his eyes sharp. Years of training guided his movements. He wasn't fighting with strength, he was fighting with mastery. Vexa, growing frustrated, activated her exosuit boosters, flames bursting from her armor as she rocketed toward him. Eli flipped backward, landing lightly, then struck her shoulder joint. Shatter. The joint exploded, sparks flying. Her right pauldron flew across the arena like a spinning shield, clattering onto the sand. The crowd erupted. Impossible. Unthinkable. Her armor is failing. Vexa stared at Eli, her bravado shaken. For the first time, the invincible warrior felt fear. "What are you?" she hissed. Eli tightened his grip.
"Human," he said.
She screamed in rage and charged again. But this time, Eli moved forward to meet her. He ducked under her punch, spun low, then launched into a rising strike that connected directly with her chest plate.
Boom.
Her entire chest armor shattered in a single, devastating blow. Silence fell. Pieces of crimson alloy rained across the arena floor. Vexa stumbled backward, staring down at the ruins of her once impenetrable armor. Then she fell to one knee. Her head bowed. "I yield." The crowd exploded into chaos. Warriors shouted, roaring, pounding the railings with disbelief and awe. The High Commander himself looked shaken. But Eli wasn't finished. He approached Vexa, offering his hand, not to attack, but to help her stand. She stared at his outstretched hand for a long moment. Then, slowly, she took it. "You have taught me," she said quietly, "that strength is not the only path to victory." Ending. The arena gates opened. Earth diplomats rushed in, expecting to retrieve Eli in pieces, and instead found him standing tall, Vexa at his side, her armor shattered around her like broken shells. The High Commander descended from the balcony, his many arms tense. He studied Eli for a long moment. "Human," he finally said, "you possess skill worthy of the Dominion. You have humbled one of our greatest champions." Eli bowed slightly. "I didn't come to humiliate, only to show that humans deserve respect." Rovok grunted, impressed. "Consider it earned." He turned to Vexa. "Your honor?" "Intact," she said firmly. "The human bested me. Not with brute force, but with mastery. He could have killed me. He chose not to." Rovok nodded once, then raised his arms to signal the crowd. "Let it be known across the Dominion," he boomed. "Humanity has proven its worth. The trial is complete." The arena roared with newfound respect instead of mockery. Eli felt something inside him settle, a quiet pride. He hadn't destroyed Vexa to humiliate her. He had broken her armor to break their misconceptions. Later, in the med bay, Vexa approached him quietly. "You shattered my armor," she said, "but not my spirit. I wish to learn your technique." Eli smiled. "I can teach you. And in return," she added, "I will teach the Dominion what humanity truly is." The alliance that formed after that moment changed history. Exchanges between Earth and the Dominion grew stronger. Combat training programs were shared. Cultures intertwined. And all because one human, with a primitive weapon, had the courage to step into the arena and prove what humanity had always known. Strength isn't always about power. Sometimes strength is precision, discipline, and the will to stand your ground. Vexa later forged a new set of armor, not to fight Eli, but to honor him. Etched into its chest plate were 3 words in the Vrax language: respect the small. And beside it hung a pair of nunchucks, crafted from Vraxian alloy, gifted to Eli as a symbol of unity. Humanity wasn't soft. Humanity wasn't weak. Humanity was skilled, dangerous, and, above all, worthy of standing among the stars. And the galaxy would never laugh at human weapons again.